The Traitors is the hit reality television programme which tests friendships in a game of detection, all with the hope of winning up to £120,000.
And this year's nail-biting series saw the relationship break down between two contestants, Harry and Paul, who have since made up. I think they probably liked each other all the way along. They were rivals, weren't they? They've now teamed up for a true crime podcast.
We're going to be talking to them about that in a moment. First, though, here's a reminder of their time together in the Scottish castle.
Hello, mate. All right.
Yeah. This is mad, isn't it?
He gave me a good run,
Yeah, it was good.
but I won.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's no guilt here. I feel like it needed to happen 100%.
We needed to get rid of a traitor. If we didn't do that in that exact moment when there's enough evidence, then we're going to get voted out.
Yeah. I feel like Paul underestimates me. He thinks he's the mastermind behind the whole Traitors. Yeah, trust me, I'm just playing my game. At the end of the day, I want to win this.
Here they are. So the two of them are here. Harry and Paul, welcome. What are you're both chuckling there, nudging each other when you're watching that clip. What are you thinking?
Go on, what was you thinking, Harry?
What were you thinking?
No, it just made me laugh because I haven't watched that back in ages. That was the moment where I stitched Paul up in the Traitors, but look at us now, eh?
Happy day.
I made it back up to you,
Happy days stitching them up?
Yeah, happy days.
Oh, he loved it, yeah.
So how did it go from being stitched up to kind of being friends? Or, I don't know if you weren't ever friends, if it was all part of the act, I don't know.
We were mates from literally the first episode. We were sat on a train together and we just clicked straight away. And then from then on, we spent such an intense, long amount of time together in the show that when we came out, we just reconnected straight away, didn't we? And the thing was, we need to go and do something together. We need a project together. And then, lo and behold, the podcast came about, didn't it?
Was there a natural, from what you're describing, you had a natural affinity towards one another, although in the programme you were, pitched against.
100%. I mean, when we were in there, we both had the same sort of background. We both had the same game plan, so it was all about strategy. And what we both wanted to do was to have fun, but also win the money at the end of the day. And it was like we bounced off each other so well in there. Yeah. We formed an actual genuine friendship. And then upon leaving, we just stayed in touch a few times, and then it was like, oh, do you two want to do this together? And then we went and done a few projects together. And then from that moment on, it was just like a brotherly bond.
But let's be clear, you won. Yeah. Just in case anyone's unclear about, because this is very lovely. He did win and you lost.
Yeah, he remembers. You don't know, everyone keeps bringing it back up, don't they? Yeah.
Well, we're winning at life now because we've just dropped, obviously, yesterday was the first episode of
in case you
Harry
forgot.
and Paul our Devious Podcast, yeah.
Oh, there's another bit of
Oh, yeah, there's you winning all of that money. What an amazing feeling that must have been for you, mate.
You have moved on. Charlie, stop stirring the pot. You have moved on, both of you, OK? So what you found that you had in common, and it's not surprising, really, coming off Traitors, is a deviousness. And so Devious is the name of the new podcast. Harry and Paul are devious.
Yeah.
Let's have a little listen.
The easiest way is to use your charm. So say if you're robbing the dome, you want to go in there, you want to be flirty, you want to be charming. You want to pull an employee who may work in the bank.
Oh, you clean the windows, do you? Show me.
Oh, you know what the vault code access is? Oh, do you like porn star martinis?
Oh, did you watch The Traitors?
Oh. And then it leads on from that to that, because then you've got someone inside.
OK, you're giggling already. What is the premise behind this?
So we look at kind of botched crimes that have happened over the past couple of decades. We find out where it went wrong for the original crooks, and then how me and Harry would get involved in it and make it so they didn't get caught. So we try and get away with it.
Hold on. So I need to flag this up. You're not condoning crime.
We're not condoning it. And as soon as you listen to the first episode, we are the worst criminals in the universe. Like how we think that we'll get away with it is the most bonkers that that you'll ever hear, really, isn't it?
So you try and kind of rethink. These are crimes. As Naga said, a crime is a crime is a crime.
Yes.
So you're putting in the place, and that's what it is. But then you're kind of going, what might I have done differently that might have affected things differently? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, so it's all comedy behind it, so it's not like a true crime documentary where we talk about.
Because there are a lot of those.
Yeah,
quite grim.
Whereas ours is more the comedy. It's for the laughs and it's for the bants. Because although me and Paul like to say we're devious, we're just two cheeky chaps who are more mischievous, I guess, who could never get away with lying in front of our loved ones. So when we talk about these true crimes, we talk about it ranges. So that's why every episode is so exciting, because we don't even know where it's going to end up. Because one moment we might be talking about the Millennium Dome heist, and then the next moment we're talking about someone who got caught for stealing 2 ovens because he posted it on Snapchat. So there's such a range of crimes.
So you're looking at not just ones that have gone wrong, but stupid criminals as well.
Yeah.
'Cause wasn't there a gang that did something and then bought a whole load of new cars the next day?
Well, yeah.
There was they robbed a bank, but then the next day they went and bought 10 luxury cars.
In cash.
So when we jump in and say, what would we do differently? We wouldn't go and buy 10 luxury cars the next day. So it's kind of, some of them are quite easy to, steer them away.
How did you
from
find
getting
out
caught.
about them?
It's all heavily researched, isn't it?
So we work with a Stack production company, and they're amazing. And there's a woman there called Nikki who does research, and then she'll send over a few of the crimes to us two, and then we'll do our own research, and then we'll think, okay, which ones do we really like? And then we message each other and we go, yeah, we can have a laugh about this one, or this one's hilarious, what about this, or I would have done it this way. So then there's a lot of heavy research behind the scenes, and then we go into the podcast studio, turn on the mics, and then whatever happens, happens.
Everybody knows that the Traitors show, it was a game. You were playing a game, whatever. In the real world, because that show had a lot of reach, a lot of people watched it, and if they didn't watch the whole thing, they might remember bits of it. Your faces became pretty familiar. What's the reaction you get? I don't know, the supermarket checkout, or have you had moments, trying to buy something, and you had odd moments?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say odd. Like, they're just there's people who obviously love the show so much that they take you for what your character was, and then that's just certain people, whereas loved ones and my friends and family, which was the only reason we was on the show and we done it all for them, no, we haven't changed. So
yes. So obviously your friends and family know what you like, and we've met you before and we know kind of what you like a bit. But some people take things quite literally. They really probably do think you're the characters that you performed as it were.
Yeah, but I think people were so emotionally invested in the show that when they see us, they're almost like taken aback a little bit. But I get people taking pictures of me in supermarkets without them being in it. I did a bow at the end of my banishment, thanks to Harry. And people say, can you do the bow? So I'm in the middle of a supermarket going like this while people are filming me, and then I go about buying my cereal and my bread.
To recreate the moment.
Yeah.
But this was what the most exciting thing is about the Harry and Paul Are Devious podcast, is that it shows up our friendship bonding, because we filmed a few episodes now and we dropped the first one yesterday and we both listened to it back and we had to turn it off because we were like, this is the worst one we've done, because our friendship
You're not
grows
selling
over
this,
time.
you're here to sell it.
No, honestly, no, because of how well it's done already is like mental to us too, because we're like, it just gets better and better.
I tell you what I have noticed, Harry, about you is you're a good salesman, because every time you've said the podcast, you've said the full name, which is, he's pretty good.
He's the best. Yeah. That's why it works.
What have you learned from one another?
Oh my goodness me. I just think how well that we get on, really. I think
come on, you can do something better than that.
Well, when we sit in a room together, you never know what kind of chemistry that you're going to have or whether it's actually going to work. And that first episode that came out yesterday was literally the pilot. It was us sitting in a room, they turned the microphones on and said, okay, there you go. And now it's, it's a top 10 comedy podcast in the Apple charts.
Who have you tested it upon? Like, with your partners or family members, who have you tested it upon and what have they said?
We didn't even test it, did we? We just, it came out yesterday. I mean, everyone went and listened to it for the first time as we did. And then my missus ran downstairs and said, oh my God, it's amazing, it's hilarious and stuff. And
she couldn't not say that though, could she?
Yeah, she kind of had to. Maybe it runs in the family, the lying.
There you go. Well, look, thanks very much for coming on and talking to us about it. I'm glad you're having fun, because that's what it's all about, really. So thank you very much, Harry and Paul. You can listen to the first episode of Harry and Paul Are Devious on your usual podcast provider. There are new episodes released every Wednesday. Have you done them all already?
I think we've got a couple to go, haven't we? But we've done a lot. It gets better every single week.
And there's one released every Wednesday.
Who makes the tea?
Who does make the tea? Harry buys the coffees, actually, but he's got enough.
Yeah.
How long is he going to keep that going for?
Oh,
And
years.
You have to let it go.
Until he's spent the winnings, then you'll forgive him.
On me, yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Nice to see you both.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks so much
guys.
for having us.